All right?
Yeah.
Do we start?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we start. You gotta clap.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can sync the audios
Oh,
now.
but yeah.
You know.
Okay, we clapped. We're good.
Should I do it again?
No.
You want to light the lighter?
You son of a bitch! Don't. That's how we did it last time, though. Honestly,
that was fucking hilarious.
It was
dude.
hilarious.
That was
but I had to match it on perfectly. Anyway.
How long did that take? It was like an hour?
The first time it took me 3 hours and I didn't manage.
When we were together, though?
When we were together, yeah, I didn't manage. It took us like 3 hours or something. Then we saw Think Media. And it was like, just sync the audio. And we were like, you know what? We're finding that fucking company's fucking mainframe. And we're doxing them so hard right now. What the fuck? Okay. So welcome back. This is technically episode 2 of being posted, but episode 3 of recording. The first one was
I named it episode 3. Maybe we need to change the name. I named it episode 3.
Oh, it's fine. We'll change the name after. Episode 2, officially speaking, up on the road. Mm-hmm. James, welcome back. Miel and James, wild time.
Dude, welcome back to Costa Rica.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
You were gone.
I was gone for 3 weeks. First time I left.
I don't want to say I missed you, but
you didn't.
I didn't.
No, it was good. You were happy to have me out. I think you were excited for me to get out of here for a bit.
Maybe after like a week or so, I was.
Yeah, but it makes sense. You know, we're together all the time, and I was updating you a lot, and I got to see some wild fucking shit out there. So you knew I'm coming back with wild fucking stories.
I've been waiting for these stories.
Yeah, I know. I've been holding out on him literally for 2 weeks. I think I've been back 2 weeks or something. I've been back. Have not told you a fucking single story because I'm waiting for the podcast. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start. I left in a afternoon flight, and I arrived around, I don't know, like 4 p.m. to the States. So I go to the immigration line, and I go. Everything's fine. Everything seems fine. This guy calls me up. Giant black dude. Just calls me up. I'm like, all right.
They put those guys there for a reason.
Yeah. Very intimidating.
Just
Immediately, I'm like, okay, but I'm just coming there. I got nothing to hide. I'm just coming in to go visit the States. Like, I'm not going to work. I'm just going to have fun. Going to meet a friend for 3 weeks. And I go up to the line, and it's fucking cold, the airport. I'm not ready for that cold. It's fucking freezing.
So
I'm
like shaking already.
So I start, and my palms start sweating from, when it's super cold, and you have something on that's long, but you're not warm enough, and your hands just start sweating. So mine just starts sweating, and I get called up to the immigration. I put my fingerprints. Right hand perfectly fine. Left hand I put on, and he's like, "Why are you shaking?" And it doesn't register. My fingerprints don't register. It's, "Why are you shaking?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's cold. I'm excited to land. Be like first time here in the States." And he looks at me. He's like,
"That seems a little sketchy."
Yeah, you shake every time you're excited. And I look at him. I'm like, what does that mean? Like this. So I put my fingers.
You talk back to him?
It doesn't. No. I just.
Okay.
I just look. I'm like.
It was like an internal monologue.
Yeah. It was internal. Yeah. I didn't say shit to the guy. I'm not an idiot.
Good.
But I put my fingers. Dude, they have that little like slit in the windshield to grab the passport. Mm-hmm. Dude, he throws his arm out of it, grabs me, right here, grabs me like, bang, stuck my fucking hand onto the thing. He's like, put it like this. So I like instinctively yanked my hand back. Big mistake. Mm-hmm. Big mistake. Mm-hmm. Big mistake. And I look at him, I'm like, dude.
You're already resisting arrest.
Yeah. Basically, I've resisted.
You've been there for fucking 20 seconds, and you're already resisting arrest. like we got a perpetrator in the immigration line.
Dude, don't be cold. Don't sweat. Do not make jokes.
No.
The 3 things I learned
robotic,
instantly.
Man. You gotta be
robotic.
robotic.
Dude, he yanks his hand, and he's like he's just his palm is the size of my fucking torso. Like, dude just grabs me this, and like I instinctively pull my hand back, and he's like, all right, go to the back, puts my boarding pass between my passport, hands it out to another dude, and I'm like, dude, I look at him, I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, and then he's like, go. So I go, and so this guy calls me, and he's smiling at me. He smiles, so I'm like, okay, this guy is kind of nice. I'm like, second, I look up, I'm like, second inspection, just on the sign.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Really, dude? Like, this is where also, like, if they feel like it, they're like, get out of our country. You know, they don't need to have a reason.
Well, they
Technically
do like
speaking.
a cavity search or
Yeah, who knows what they
something-
go. If
something-
you go second inspection, there's like several rooms behind, 8 cops. Now it's not like TSA anymore. They have like police here, and like there's dogs and this, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I got nothing to hide. But I go there, it's me and 10 Mexicans. It's me and 10 Mexicans.
you look a little Mexican, actually.
I'm like,
you know,
okay.
you could be
Dude,
Mexican, actually.
they all look exactly like me.
Yeah.
Every single guy in there. We look exactly the
So
same.
if you have like olive skin, you're either Mexican or Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Exactly. It was me and a bunch of
That's it.
Puerto Ricans
That's it.
and Mexicans. And this dude in front of me tattooed up to the to the
Mm.
max, tattoos on his neck, head, face. I'm like, this guy, I get it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he's there and like
He's
there's a-
on the Biden immigration plan.
yeah, exactly. He came back the wrong time. You know, Trump just got elected. That's one of the things I was like, man, Trump's elected now. They might just be like, you can't come in.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like now it's the whole border. You know, they want to be more intense about that.
Trying to keep the DNA
I'm like,
pure.
yeah. But I'm like, I got everything perfect. I've transited through the like laid over in the States like 8 times. I'm like, they got me in their system so much, you know? So I go, and there's literally, it's like 12 cops, all of them black, and 1 white dude. 1 white, big beard, big dude. Like, I'm like, might as well, you know, same guy. Same guy as everybody, just different skin color. They're all friends, this. And I'm like, okay. This guy in front of me, and there's signs everywhere. Don't use your phone. Don't do a few things. Like, don't use
No
your phone.
sudden
Don't
movements,
this. No,
yeah.
yeah. We've got eyes on you, basically. They're like, you're being recorded. You're being this, everything. And the guy just
you're in the database.
yeah.
now,
So the
dude.
guy pulls out his phone in front of me. This dude, this cholo,
Yeah.
pulls out his phone. Just using his phone. One of the officers back there, he's like, "Sir, please stop using your phone." Dude looks up at the cop, looks back down, keeps swiping on his phone. This dude stands up. The cop stands up, starts walking over to the dude. The moment, like the dude's looking at him, waits for him to come literally a centimeter from him, then puts his phone in his pocket. And I'm like, what the fuck? Shit's about to go down. Cop puts his hand out. He's like, give me the phone. And the guy's like, no. And he's like, give me the phone right now. He's like, no, you're gonna have to fucking arrest me. Starts off with a swear word. You have to fucking arrest me if you want to have my phone.
Damn, dude.
I'm like, the cop just looks. He's like, I will put you in fucking handcuffs. You don't listen to me. You know, this guy's like, do it, motherfucker, do it. Like he's like, oh, like I want. And then he goes, I want your badge number and your name.
Oh my god.
And I'm like,
every time,
now
dude.
the cop just turns around, walks back, and he's like, and then the guy keeps going. He goes, I see you sitting over there doing fucking nothing. And the cop's like, dude, I'm checking. Now the cop is like explaining to him what he's doing, and I'm like, dude, just arrest this guy. Like, he just pulls out. He's like, I'm checking out a fucking passport, man. I'm not doing nothing here. He's like, man, you're so soft. If you wanted to be a police officer, you can't be this soft. Give me your badge number and information. 3 more cops come out of the back to stand around this dude, and they're telling him like, hey, man, like, stop being a jackass. We can arrest you right now. He's like, fucking do it. Put me in cuffs right now, man. I'll sue all of you guys. You guys like to be tyrants like this? Pull us all to the back. And I'm like, the only reason that we're still here is because of your dumbass antics right now. So I poked the dude like an idiot. I poked the dude. And I'm like, dude, cut it off. I literally told him,
said
dude,
that?
I said that to him. And he looks at me, and when I looked at him, I'm like, this guy might be a fucking gangster. And I'm like, oh,
Obviously, he's a
no.
gangster, dude.
Oh, no.
Obviously, he's a
Because
gangster.
he turns around, and I could only see the tattoos here. When he turns around, just like, you know, a lady on his neck and like tattoos here. And I'm like,
Oh shit, dude.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go, man, like, they're going to arrest you if you keep like talking like this. He's like, man, let them arrest me. I'll fucking sue all their asses right now. 4 more cops come, they take him to the back, never see this dude again. Never comes back out.
Yeah.
They take it, they grab, they're like, you can leave your stuff, you won't need it.
Mm.
You can leave your stuff.
mother
you
will
won't need
never
it.
see him
yeah,
again,
Yeah,
man.
that guy, you can cancel Thanksgiving, Christmas. This dude's never leaving, dude. They not only cavity search, there's a fucking door that leads right into fucking county jail in Florida. It's Fort Lauderdale Airport. It's not even Miami. You know, it's Fort Lauderdale Airport, dude. They have probably trap doors that put you right into fucking prison. So I'm like there, and I'm like, dude, he's about to get us all arrested. Because it's me and all other Mexicans, and I'm the only one speaking English there. So I'm like, you know, he leaves, and then I look at the cop. I'm like, man, that guy was a jackass. you know, this, and the cop thinks I said that to him, like that he's a jackass. He's like, what'd you say? I'm saying, no, man, the guy that you were just speaking to, he's a jackass. He's like, I know, right? What the fuck was that about, man? I'm just over here, like, trying to get all you guys processed. Like, we're not here to prove that you can't come. We're just here to make sure, because for some reason you got, you know, some waiting. 5 minutes turns to 10 minutes. Still, this dude, never saw him again. Never saw him. This dude never came back out. His stuff is there. Passport's still in the cabinet. Nada. This guy's gone, you know? So, like, and I'm looking behind me, and there's all these dudes, and they're, like, sweating, you know? So I'm just chilling. I'm just, like, you know, leaning on the wall, just chilling, like, not really, you know, I didn't listen to any music. I'm not, like, trying to start something. I go, these cops just, like, now from all the dudes, just the one white guy calls me over. He's like, put your stuff here. I put everything through the machine. And he's like, what are you here for? I'm just coming to visit for 3 weeks on your 17 days. He's like, and then I'm like, I have the address where I'm going. He's like, oh, you have the address where you're going? And I'm like, yeah, of course. He's like, he's still thinking that he's like needing to nail me on a story, like that I like got this whole story and like there's like a fluke, like something is not right. I'm like, yeah, man, I got the Airbnb that I'm going to. I got the house that I'm going to. He's like, okay, give me. I like pull out my phone, show him the address, like, and also show him my phone. So it's like, feels like more like I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, I don't get, here, look, here. Yeah. And I don't really need to read it out to you. This is the address, whatever. And then like, he's like still kind of like, so what do you do for work? What do you, like, they're like going through my whole, this, and he's writing everything down on paper, which is like, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, you know, like, and then he's like, and then I go, hey, man, like, I have family here. I have an aunt and uncle. He like pops his head up. He's like, oh, you're free to go, man. Like, he was like, yo.
Just like that?
You know, just like that. He was like, oh, you have family here. And I'm like, I'm not even ready. She works for the Florida Panthers, like the hockey team. And I'm about to start hitting him with this stuff. He's writing everything down. He's like, oh, you have family? Dude, go on. I'm like, yeah, man. Like, Israel. He's like, oh, dude, there you go. I go out. I leave. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I need to, like, lead with that. Apparently, the guy just needed to wait for, like, I got family here. They let me out in a second. But, man, this Mexican guy was about to ruin everybody. And people are, like, this is also the thing. I'm, like, in the line in security. This dude brought ham. This dude brought ham and cheese from fucking Puerto Rico to, like, bring in. So they're, like, going through all this shit. And he's like, man, why you lying? Like, and they're like, did you bring any food? The guy's like, no. Then they pull out a ham. Like, man.
What do you mean a ham, though?
Like, dude, like a literal ham.
Like a leg.
Ham.
Like a leg.
Yeah,
portion.
like a leg of ham.
What the fuck?
And I'm like,
bag?
in his suitcase, in his check bag. And I'm like,
damn, dude.
And then the guy's like, man, the cop goes, the one thing you can't do is lie to me, man. Because then suddenly we got a problem. And I'm like, and then the dude's like, you're free to go right before this. So he's like, the dude's like, I'm writing down my information. This guy is like getting hit with this information. They're pulling out hams and cheeses from his suitcase. He's like, you got any food? And I look at him, I'm like, not like that. And he starts laughing, and I'm like, and then I go like, remind me not to be cold next time in your airport. And the dude starts laughing. So I'm like cracking jokes with the cop. Yeah. He's like, this is great. You know, like, so I'm like making the cop laugh. I'm like, we're good. So then I leave, and I wait in the exit. Like, I go, and I'm like, I think the guys could see everything on the camera. So like when I left that, all the cops like looked at me and they like nodded and they were like, yo, man, nice one. Like this, I'm like, what? Because I was like stood up for the cops. Yeah. I think when the guy was talking shit to them. So everybody kind of liked me after that, and I was making them laugh. So I think everybody was like hearing what I'm saying on the cameras. So then they're like, man, you're great. Like, and then they're like, and then when I leave, and the one guy goes, don't be cold. And I'm like, ah. They're like,
one of the cops.
Yeah, one of the cops like at the exit, like when I'm leaving the door, he's like, don't be cold. And he laughs and this. I'm like, dude, they're all listening.
That's awesome, dude. What a gangster, man. What a guy.
So I'm like, okay, we started off with a good foot. And I'm like, you know, I got stories told from like Angelina before I went there. Like, hey, people drive here like crazy, like it's Florida, you know. I got like told from friends in Florida, dude, it's fucking crazy, it's intense, there's people. So like, I go out, you know, and it's still airport, so there's like police everywhere. This is like fairly like every airport. I'm like, nothing's new here yet. I meet her, we pick up the car, we drive out, literally 10 meters out of the airport. You're going you're starting to go on like the highway, I guess you call it, like, you know, these like
on-ramp.
On-ramp, yeah, exactly. You go on the on-ramp. Toyota Corolla. I don't know. We're in a big fucking Toyota Tacoma. Toyota Corolla, no turn signal, just 3 lanes. Cuts 3 lanes and literally almost touches us. Like, first 5 minutes, I'm already yelling at some dude in a Toyota Corolla in Florida. I'm like, this is how this is going to be. I can already tell that we're about to have a wild fucking time. So, that was my start of Florida.
This is a true-blooded American experience right here, man. Like, crazy drivers, you know, problems getting into the airport.
Exactly.
I have a bunch of friends who had a hard time getting into the States.
Yeah, man. And like
they just like to fuck with people.
Exactly. Also,
I think
people
they
with
like to fuck with
citizenship.
people.
Like people that are.
But if you're not citizen, then it's even worse, you know? Like, I never have a problem every time I go through. But I also do the same thing you do. I have a good time with them.
Exactly.
I laugh, you know? Like, I always tell the truth. I never lie about anything.
Exactly.
You know, I just carry, like, a smile on my face. Nothing ever happens. They just, you know, they just push me through.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're not a citizen, then all of a sudden the question marks really start to pop up.
And, like, the guy grabbing my arm through the fucking glass jolted my fucking system.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think that was legal for them to grab you.
No, that's
like
another interesting point about it. It's like
put your arm out.
Yeah.
He went
Yeah.
like hard. He grabbed me and like pressed my arm down. Like, so I went, you know, like this, and I like instinctively I moved my arm back, and he wasn't letting it go back. And then he looked at me and he was like,
I kind of wonder with airports. I feel like there's like a bit of a different law there. It's not really like you're in the States yet.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's some
you
like
don't have as much rights, maybe.
Of the like your rights are not really recognized in that space.
Exactly.
Like, I think TSA
really
and like airport police officers can get away with shit that like
normally you wouldn't be
able to
sure.
do.
It
so
makes
that
a lot
guy
of
that
sense.
was like, "I'll sue you," no. It's like, then he fucking disappears.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Nobody ever saw
you're
him
not
again.
suing anybody if you're at the bottom of the lake, dude. Like,
No way.
There's no way to do it.
No way. And the guy, like, thankfully, the guy didn't also take what I said to him badly. Because if
you would have fucked that up, that would have been because he could have like totally.
He could have spazzed on me, but he was he instantly spazzed in the airport. He was there to like. Also, it's like the dude was like almost traveling with nothing, literally nothing, like duffel bag, you know, like sports duffel bag, and like, you know, short pants, short shirt, you know, this tattoos. I'm like, okay, you know, it makes it like from all the like stereotypes and stuff, like in Japan, like with you see a guy super tattooed or something, you know, probably, you know what I mean? There's just a profile that you fit, and I get it. But it's like, I guess I fit some sort of profile for them with like the being like shaky in the airport or something, like being like shaking in the fingerprint. Yeah. But I mean, dude, I was shaking literally like, I don't know if you can, I normally shake.
Yeah.
Like, even if I hold my hand out. It's just, my family just has this. Like, it's just something that almost all my family from my mom's side has. Yeah. This thing. So it's like barely even shaking. But also when he grabbed my arm, you could feel like the sweat on like the top of my hand. Yeah. So I think it also like threw him off. And definitely he did not enjoy me pulling back. But basically, like, when I poked this guy and it was like, dude, like, stop, man. You're like, he was like, he like turned to me, and I guess maybe if I was super wide or this, he would start being like super angry at me. But because I think I looked like his nephew, you know, like he was like, man, but they're like trying to fuck with me already. I'm like, yeah, man, but like, dude, you're gonna make a mess for yourself now. Like they're not trying to hold you out here. They're just like, there's obvious like rules. Don't use your phone. You were using your phone. This, and then like, I mean, just the mayhem that got created there with this dude spazzed on the cops. He's like, I want your badge number and your name. I want your badge number and your name. Like, y'all are not gonna be cops anymore. This type of shit, I'm like, dude, unless this guy's FBI and we don't know, you know, for some reason, like, but why would he even be there?
It's a deep undercover operation.
Deep undercover operation.
He's got the face tattoos.
But like the cops were even like, I've like seen rude cops.
Yeah.
I've seen rude cops. I've been pulled over by like a really rude cop. Like, grabbed my cigarette, threw it on the ground, stomped it. Like, dude with M4s coming up, like this for no reason. Like, I seen in Costa Rica, so out there, I'm like, this dude's dead, you know. But the cop was so nice. That he was like, and it's like, dude, literally 6'5", giant black dude, yoked. I'm like, this is the last fucking guy I would talk shit to, literally the last guy. And the dude's spazzing out on them, and like in the very thick Latino accent too, you know. So I'm like, we're fucked. Like, all of us in the line were fucked now. They're like,
no, but maybe actually you got off better because of that. Because sometimes if there's like a group of people and one of them is a troublemaker, all the energy goes to that guy.
Exactly.
You know, they're like, they have to deal with the one that's like acting up,
Yeah.
And then everybody else, it's like that guy takes so much time that they're like, all right,
Exactly.
everybody else go for it. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
And he took so long, and he pissed. Like, I've never seen 7 dudes that, like, with, man, 7 dudes armed to the teeth with guns. The last group of people you would start talking shit to.
Yeah.
You know? And this guy just chose. He just woke up today, chose violence, dude. He chose violence today. And, like, I get it, dude. You're in the airport. You've already flown whatever you need to fly. You just want to get in. Like, exactly. You just want to get it. Just don't do nothing. You know? And,
Can you just make sure the red light's on the camera? I know, but I'm just worried that the red light needs to be on. It's on? Yes, there's a red light. No, it's fine. As long as the red light's there. Okay, good.
And so anyways, fast forward after that, man, like I had some of the greatest time in Florida. First of all, seeing all the sick fucking cars. There, like I saw like 200 Corvettes, like super sick. Nobody has blacked out Corvettes though anymore. After that one dude, I don't know if you've seen that dude on Instagram doing burnouts on the cops, like in that, he's actually from Florida. He was this dude, he was like under like this name, and he was this Corvette, and he was basically like driving and like teasing cops into chases and like speeding out of them. You've for sure seen this. And he got arrested. Yeah. So like now almost every Corvette that gets pulled over, like black Corvettes get pulled over all the time. Like one black Corvette I saw, and he was being pulled over along the road. So I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like
it used to be red. Like the cops had a more chance of pulling you over if you were in a red car.
Really?
Yeah, because people who buy red cars, they think they're race car drivers, and it's like a psychological thing.
I see.
And I think it's psychological for the driver because they're like, I'm in a race car.
I'm in a race car, yeah.
And it's psychological for the cop because he's I know anybody who has a red car is going to drive like that.
But also the cop, there's no way that these cops are catching up to anybody.
Dude, the cop cars are fucking insane, though, dude.
Because I didn't see a chase.
It's not just the cop cars; there's also the helicopters.
That's
because
for sure.
if there's a car chase, there'll be a helicopter airborne in a few minutes.
For sure.
And you won't be able to outrun it. There's only one video that I saw where there was a guy in like a Dodge Challenger.
Okay.
Maybe or no, it was like it was a Hellcat. It was
a Hellcat.
And this thing fucking took off on the highway and it outran the helicopter. And the helicopters go like 180, 200 miles an hour.
Holy fucking shit.
And this thing was like gone, dude. It was gone.
The craziest thing I saw was the Shelby Cobra.
Yeah,
I saw Shelby Cobra, and literally there's like truck, and cars, and he's going vroom, 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 vroom.
Like an old one or a new one?
Not super old. Not like the super old school ones, but like...
Did you see like old muscle cars?
I did see old muscle cars.
Because that's like, fun, dude.
Yeah,
like
I saw an Impala,
Chevelle,
I think I saw the like Impala. And this like, but that's like, you know, with the muscle cars with the hydraulics. You know, like this kind of thing. Like but they're not showing off, but you can see that they're like the 94 Impalas or something like this, like this very classic muscle car. Yeah. You know that they don't go super fast.
Muscle
but
car
like
94 is like not. I mean, a muscle car is. It actually goes beyond that. I was thinking like old school like kind of hot rods.
No, I saw one old school hot rod like style, but I saw an old Lincoln. I saw one of those old Lincoln, the ones with a long fucking hood.
Oh yeah,
that one. Yeah, that one, very old, with the wheel on the back, like in the roundish. That one was a beautiful car.
Yeah. It's a very much part of the culture in America.
Yeah.
You know, like what you drive is very important.
Super, it's status symbol, important. Full status symbol.
Status, aesthetic.
Yeah, but it's all old white dudes driving the nicest cars, and just like their wives like sitting next to them, just. Nothing about them is human. Just their face is just stretched from Botox and like fake lips and this. It's like this is what I realized also, when you have so much money, you have to like really find somebody that is comfortable with who they are and doesn't give it, because it's like you're gonna lose yourself. Like but these old dudes don't give a fuck. They're wearing like the worst clothes, like shorts and a fucking button-up Hawaiian. Yeah. In a $400,000 car. And their wife next to them is like, you can see that she just spends so much money every week. Like the amount of Botox, the amount of fake shit, all fake tits, all this, all nothing. Nothing's real about this person. Like, that's nasty to me. Like, I'm like,
it's very unattractive.
You know, very unattractive.
Very unattractive.
And like, I get it, whatever. The guy's like, you know, it's your husband, he has a lot of money, but it's like, man, you're old, be comfortable. Like, now it's the time to fucking relax. Who gives a shit? Let's be in bed by 10. Like, who gives a shit? You know? Like we're, you don't need to show. So like I very much saw this need to stay young in the States. This like needing to look young, especially on the women's side. Like not much on the men's side and stuff. Because like I just saw old guys that don't give a fuck everywhere.
Well, it's also like the culture there is that when you get old, like it used to be that you would have a nuclear family, right? So like your grandparents would come and live with you, like you protected your family, you know? Yeah. But as time progressed in America, more and more people would just send their elders to the old folks home, you know? So like it actually became that once you reach a certain age, you're irrelevant to the culture.
Oh, fuck.
You know, like there's no respect for people who have that wisdom, that experience. Like it's not something that's valuable in the culture. So a lot of people try to run away from that, you know, because there's a fear that not only of like getting old because you're getting close to death, but like getting old because now people won't recognize you anymore. And it's really like it's a status symbol.
Yeah,
it's like
that makes sense though. They're like trying to stay in this relevant space and not be like you need to be an old.
You have to be relevant. Like you have
to
you have to be making money. You have to be like successful, and you have to be young in order to be relevant.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then you're looked down upon.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
But you also see these monster women, like the super successful women. You can just tell. Also, just like dressed to the T, like some in a suit, even some like going around, some like. And when we go out to eat, you just see these like where people have money, but it's like there's very much a vibe of like old white guys have money there. That's like very much what I saw in Florida, especially South Florida, like. But both, and like 90% trucks on the road, like everybody is almost driving trucks and stuff. And it's just like this vibe, this very like intense and it's like an anthill that just never stops. It's like, it's a very complicated, this is the first time that I like looked at like human beings and I was like, man, we're just like ants. Like if you look at this
flying
from the
over
top,
on the plane and you're looking down,
just see, that's what I
very
saw.
much like that.
Just people just moving, not the city never sleeps. The city never fucking sleeps. And it's like very intense and like very strong, especially coming from the jungle, like coming from Costa Rica and being like dirt roads and shit like this. Suddenly you go and like everything is there and like, and it's, people drive like they want to get home, but also they're like, it's not going to be me, people like the way that people drive, it's like, I don't think that they want to crash, but also everybody has this mentality like, it's not going to be me. I'm not going to crash.
Yeah.
So, but they still drive like fucking idiots. And like the Corollas, like it's the Toyota Corollas, the Eclipses, the Nissan Eclipse or something. Yeah. Like all these small city cars, they think that they're big. Like I don't get it. Yeah. It's like they're driving the worst with the most vulnerable car ever. Like man, like some dude like you see like I saw two cars and like one of them was a truck, one of them was this truck, completely fine. The Toyota Corolla, just the full inside was just like
it was
squished.
An accident? You saw the accident or you saw the after?
The aftermath.
The aftermath.
The aftermath. But just like you could see basically they hit like this, nothing happened to the fucking truck. Nothing happened to the truck. Yeah. Everything happened to the Toyota Corolla. Like everything possible that could have happened to that Toyota Corolla. Yeah. It's like it was done. And it's
the
like
highway
people
is the
drive
place
like
where
idiots.
you see like a lot of the aggression of the states coming out. Like people drive like they're pissed off. I got into a lot of like potential road rage situations when I was in the States.
Yeah, man. We're back. Took a little bit of a break. All right. So, the other thing. So in Florida, towards the end actually of my trip, like I'm in Fort Myers and we're like, what do we do? One of Angelina's friends came over. And let me actually redo that because I don't know if she wants me to use her name. So let's just. So I was in Fort Myers at the end, like towards the end of my trip, and we were like, what do we do? What do we go do? We were like thinking, what is it to do? We're thinking to maybe go play some mini golf. Costs $200 an hour to play mini golf in Florida.
Oh, shit, dude. What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What the fuck? $100 an hour. $200 for 2 hours. What the fuck, dude? So we're like, what do we do? We find out there's an ice skating rink. I've never ice skated before in my life, and it's right before Thanksgiving, so everybody's kind of like there. It's like, right after Thanksgiving, we're all hanging out. So we go to this ice rink. It's packed, packed, like 80 people on the small ice rink, you know. So I go, I get the skates on, you know, and I've never done it. So I go in and I see a bunch of people have like this like training thing, like this thing to hold on to. To this, nobody even suggested that to me or gave me one, nothing. So I go there raw, just like nothing. So I go and I've rollerbladed one time in my life, like, you know, so like I kind of get the move, like this, but it's completely different. Like you are way more accurate on the skates. Like you can like go really tight and like really tight spaces and stuff. But if you do one too much of like a certain like movement, you're gonna spin or you're gonna do something out of control. Yeah. So I go and I'm thinking, you know, they're like, you're gonna eat shit. You're gonna eat shit. Just get ready for it. Like you're gonna fall. So like, and I have a great balance. So I'm like hitting these like really controlled falls. It's really fun. Like I'm hitting and like, you know, I like put the skates together and like I just stop and like I put my hands in the ground or something. You know, nothing bad. So I go. I take a couple like slips, falls. Like I fall on my butt a couple times. Nothing happens. It's all good. Towards the end of the fucking thing, I took a tumble, dude. So bad. So I go and like I lean back a bit too much and I slip and I try to like catch myself like this.
Ooh. Backwards.
Slips from out backwards, but I'm trying to catch myself. So my leg bends backwards and it bounces off the skate, off the ground. So my knee just goes clack, clack, like this. And a dude from outside of the rink just goes, holy fucking shit, I think he broke his leg. The dude just yells, holy shit, I think he broke his leg. And now, you know when you're a kid and like you fall and you're not sure how bad it is? That was me, like a baby, you know? Like I fell and I look up and then there's just this dude, oh my God, you know, like this. So I just start like I'm expecting to see a bone or something, you know, sticking out. And there's dudes around me like, holy shit. Like people are like skating around me, like holding their head, like, holy shit, I think this dude's dead, you know? Like, so I like, and I like start like, and I try to get up, my leg just doesn't move. And I'm like, oh fuck. You know, and I'm like, and then like, you know, a few seconds, like when you get hit, you don't feel pain. A few seconds later, just, holy shit, can't even move my leg. So this dude like yanks me out of the, like I pull my hand out. The dude comes in and yanks me out, you know, and I get up, but man, I took a tumble of a fucking century, dude.
Well, on your knee?
Like on my knee, like my knee, this.
But
like,
the pain was coming from the knee?
Yeah. From like inside like the meniscus, like I thought I tore something, like you know,
ACL tear,
like
maybe.
And basically I get up and I'm like limping this I can't, and then like my muscle's still hot, so I'm like this is the last chance to use it, so I go back on the ice rink, and I skate for like an hour more or something, 30 minutes more. We leave, now we're like out of a cold environment. We start to go back, my knee just starts swelling and swelling. It ends up like a softball. My knee just looks like a softball, dude, and I'm like, holy shit. And my family has like a history of like knee problems, you know, so I'm like, no,
gotta put you down now.
No, dude, this is like gonna be bad. Like now I like sports, working out, this, like what if I can't put pressure on my knee again, you know? And it was so fucking painful. Like first time I used the painkillers, like first time I took Advil for the swelling, like ibuprofen to lower the swelling and to kill the pain because I couldn't even fall asleep. But holy shit, man, it was so unbelievable. Like if you were there, you would be rolling on the ground laughing, dude. Like, you know when your friend has such a bad tumble and you see it and it was so bad, and this dude, like, if that was on recorded, man, on video, viral instantly. This dude just yelling from outside like, I think he fucking broke his leg. It's so unbelievably fucking funny to me. Like I was like laughing so hard at that afterwards that I didn't even give a fuck about the pain.
Laughing and crying at the same time.
Yeah, literally, I was like, you know what, this is such a good fucking story. Dude, no, but man, I didn't even, it was like one of those pains that like, you know, like you can't even like, bring words out to like speak, you know, but it was so unbelievably funny. So that's what I was trying to holding back to share with you. Saw a bunch of people yelling at thin air at themselves, like full drugged out.
Drug addicts,
And there was a guy carrying a cross, a giant cross.
Was he dressed up like Jesus? Or?
No, just a dude, like shirtless, like homeless guy. Just he got a cross like way bigger than him. Like I'm talking like gigantic cross, just like carrying it angled,
like dragging it along
dragging
the
it
ground.
along the street. I was like, this is Florida. This is Florida.
Did you see
all
like
right.
a bunch of guys like on the street, just like homeless guys, like twacked out and
fully tweaked out, and like a bunch of people. We like also entered the hood, and there's just like a police station, and just like 10 meters away is just a bunch of people smoking crack, a bunch of people like you know doing drugs, and this just like crack dens, just like there, and you can also say, I gotta explain, like the moment you see bars in the windows, you're in the hood.
Yeah.
You're in the hood. Like the moment, and everything is barred, and like no white people.
yeah.
I'm sorry, like not to be racist or anything. No fucking white people. Not one. Not one. It was sad. That's sad to see. For me to like, I've never experienced that level of shit. I've never like been around that kind of stuff. I've never like, you see it in movies, you see it in shows, but like to get hit with that reality check of like this is real, and like people are like over there like losing their lives, you know, because of like these drugs and stuff like this. Like holy shit. And like literally across the street from that is like the richest fucking neighborhood, and like
It's weird, huh? How close together, like the
so literally
dilapidated
building
buildings, and then
aside.
it could be like like mansions on
literally
the next block. Yeah.
literally next block fucking man. I'm like, okay, what the fuck, you know? Like this is reality.
Yeah.
So that's fucking terrifying.
I just feel like living in a cage, you know? Like if you got all these bars on the window, and then it's the same thing in California, and they have like the wire fences outside with like barbed wire on the top, and then and then like another layer of protection inside, and it's like being in prison, you know? Like
Literally.
you're imprisoned in your own home.
Exactly. And
I
like
couldn't imagine that being like your day-to-day
no
experience of life.
no,
Like,
and it's like it's too much, man. It also puts you into like a scenario of like if you already have a hard time making good choices, or you're down in a rut, or you're something. Literally, you're like everything is pointing you to go like even more down in your life and worse, and like with this drug thing, and like it's so sad to see.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see.
Yeah. I
So,
did
yeah.
it for a while, actually. You know, it was exactly that. You know, I was getting into that scene, and like you said, if you're in a state where you're like depressed, or you know you're exploring things and being in places you shouldn't be, you can go way far down the rabbit hole, and it's so easy, it's so accessible there.
Yeah.
You know, everybody is just like, you know, just a few choices away from getting into that kind of. And then you come
Absolutely,
here
man.
to Costa Rica, and it's like, even if I wanted to do something bad, like, what's the worst that I could do here?
Man, you would have to go really hard to look for it. It's like work.
Work, yeah.
You have to like work to get into like a situation where it's that bad, and you do like drugs and stuff like this. It's like very, very difficult, you know. And it's like it's just because also the lifestyle here. It's like, yeah, we're close to Colombia and Costa Rica. Like I've never really even seen coke or something like this, but like I assume because we're so close to Colombia, I assume it's accessible.
for sure.
It's accessible to whoever wants access to it. But it's so much like not in the culture of a Costa Rican, like a local, to do coke or to do this stuff. Like it's very pura vida. Like you need to end up in these situations and stuff, and like it's just not a good.
Costa Rica is just a different place in Central and South America too.
Completely different.
You know,
completely different.
It's really not run by that kind of those kind of people and that kind of influence.
Exactly.
You go to Mexico, like it's very different.
I can't imagine.
El Salvador is now great, but it used to be fucking.
It used to be the worst. It used to be
the worst.
uninhabitable until they got that gangster fucking prime minister, like president. President. This guy is such a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Like that video of him with all those people and like live streaming it, being like he's here to
investigate
audit all of
everybody
you.
in the room.
This is the auditor. He's here to audit all of you. Everybody's like, what the fuck, you know? Like this is live streamed too. You can't even hide it. Like the dude just brought in. He's like, you might not know him, but he's a good friend of mine. He's here to audit all of you. They're like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're fucked. He didn't trust anybody. You know, and it's good. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
This is how you're supposed to do it.
But it's weird that there's like this cycle repeating right now, because what this guy said, Bukele, what's his name?
I don't remember.
President of,
I don't remember.
I think it's Bukele, something like that. He was saying that in El Salvador there was this mass migration, like everybody went to the States.
Yeah.
And before they went, they weren't gang affiliated.
Yeah.
But then they go to the States, and
It's
they
true,
end up
like-
getting into these like situations where they end up running around with these gangs. And then there's this mass deportation that happens, and then they come back, and now there's gangsters in their country.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that's it's like a blowback for the situation with Trump. Like he wants to send these people back. And it's kind of like the cycle repeating itself. You know, all these people were let in. Probably a lot of them got into like not so good situations, got radicalized, and now we're gonna like ship them all back to their home country.
Exactly.
Where there's gonna be, and now it's gonna be like, oh, now it's your problem. You
Exactly.
know?
And it's also
like, what
funny.
do you do? Because it's also a problem for the states.
Yeah.
You know, it's also a problem. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like
but
a
also the
fucked up
states kind of
situation.
created them to that. You know, like I get it. I get this also border control thing and stuff. It's just, look, man, I was in the States. I'll be honest with you. The only people that do work, labor work,
mean
and
physical
hard work,
labor?
physical work, that like, that's how you also run a fucking country. You need these people to work in construction, to do the plumbing, to do the maintenance, everything. There's not a fucking guy that's like, unless he's like really in top level, like it's black guys and Latinos. It's like African Americans and Latinos. It's like, that's it. You know, and it's like, and man, I grew up against, like, there's so much respect for these guys, and like, I get this like border control thing of like, hey man, we need to like make sure people like murderers and all these things like not to come through your country. Of course, like the immigration laws need to be more tight, but it's like also if you suddenly start to be like, you have to leave because you're from there, nobody's gonna work in the States. You guys are fucked. Like nobody, the prices like a lettuce will be $80 fucking, you know, because nobody's picking lettuce or picking apples or growing bananas or building your building or doing this. It's like if you get these guys out and stuff, man, Americans don't want to do that work. Let's be honest here. There's a lot of people with a really good mindset and a really good like headspace that like they have the ability to like manage and do these things, but it's like you have a lack of work, like a lack of like
work ethic.
Want to labor work, like a lack of ethic and labor work, and like people don't want to do that job. Same thing with like why iPhone, like you can't produce an iPhone in the States. It'll cost you $8,000.
Yeah, easily.
You know, easily. But it's also horrible. Like the work, but they're getting they are being treated well in the States. Like they are being treated well. You know, but it's also so many Mexicans have gone back to Mexico because they can make enough money there and they can do well there. And it's like the States, the economy, it was just like, what's going on here? You know, but it's like, man, you got to give respect to these guys because they're the only ones doing the work that you don't want to do. It's like, I get Trump's whole thing, you know, like I get, it's not even Trump's thing. It's like, I get the country's thing of like, you need to like have tighter border, tighter this, you know, like, just like this border czar, he's like, somebody was telling him, it's legal to seek asylum. He's like, yes. So do it legally.
Right. Yeah.
So do it through the border.
Right.
Don't come in illegally and then seek asylum. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like I get that, and I get this whole thing, and I get that you know you have an immigrant coming through like through the border, and it's like yeah, you have 300 and one of them does something bad, then you look at all of them, you know, and say this is bad. But it's like it can't work like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same thing with Israel. You think if we were like only Jews are allowed to enter this country, bro. What? No. It's like we're allowed everybody to come into this country that wants to, and these people can work, and these people can do this. You know, it's like you're not like a country that needs this. Like I don't know how many non-white or African Americans there are in the States. Like probably a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah. A lot, and they're the ones that are doing work. Like you take those people away, I think you guys are fucked.
Yeah.
I think you guys are fucked.
Yeah.
Like I think nothing will be done there. Like no movement, and like also the prices for everything will just skyrocket, and like it was kind of smart. Like Black Friday came up, and like all the prices lowered and everything lowered, and like people are like, oh, the economy is so much better. Like all these like you know as Trump gets into office, and you're like, this is incredible. You know like everything is lower prices, But it's like the moment we exit this, holy shit, we're gonna start seeing we might start seeing like an insane up of prices, and then people will start getting really nervous.
Yeah.
And if you take you take the people that actually want to do the work away, it's like, man, it's not gonna end well.
Well, I think one of the big issues is like insurance, for instance. You know, like an immigrant can come into the country and they get free insurance. And I don't know what that process is and what exactly it looks like, but like that is very well known that if you're an immigrant, you seek asylum, you come into the country, and you very quickly get all of the hospital bills paid. You get like very nice
I didn't
insurance.
know that.
There was a video of this guy who had like bone cancer 2 times.
Oh shit.
And he ended up like basically spending his life savings on his treatment. And he was saying like, look, I don't mind that people are coming into the country, but isn't it a little bit fucked up that me as an American citizen, like 3 generations of being an American, can't get an insurance in order to you know, assist me in paying for my health.
Yeah.
But this person comes across the border in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
And then now that they're here, we just give them everything.
Exactly.
You know, so
crazy.
there's just like the policies, the way that these things work. It's just there's like a lack of like fairness.
Exactly. There's a big lack of fairness, and it was like it was so much on the other side with the Biden administration. That it was like, give him this, give him this, give him this, give him this, and it's like I saw this meme. It was perfect. We're gonna pull it up like in the editing when this meme said like it was a video. Have you seen this movie where they have to like bring like weed over the Mexican border? It's like this comedy where it's like
Super Troopers?
No. Oh my god. I will pull up the name but it's basically like it's a very comedy movie with this very famous comedy like actor and like Jennifer Aniston is in it and stuff. You know this where they like pass
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't remember the name of the movie.
But anyways, so like it was like the government and and she's like, you're getting paid $300,000 for it. Cuts to her and it says Ukraine, and it's like, you're only giving us 30,000. And then it cuts to another chick. It's like, immigrants. What? I'm only getting paid 1,000. And then it cuts to America, and then it goes Americans, and you're like, what the fuck? You guys are getting paid for this? You know, it's like this is a perfect representation of like what's happening. It's like the government is like has so much money, they're giving it to Ukraine, giving it to the immigrants, and then Americans are like, wait a minute.
What about us?
Well, you guys are getting paid for this? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, and it's really sad to see also, like, man, this is real. Like, and I'm not saying, like, look, in certain ways, like, yeah, you should also take care of people that want to come into your country. Like Portugal, Portugal's doing great with it. You know, Portugal, that's a very smart way.
But shouldn't you start with your own
like not everybody.
Like you should start with your own citizens, though.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take care of anybody,
exactly.
Start with the citizens.
Exactly. Don't
start with your veterans, actually,
yes.
who like actually gave you the opportunity to have this society.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
How many veterans on the fucking street?
Yeah.
Bro, this is like also such a foreign concept for me, as an Israeli. Mm-hmm. If you've been to the army and if you've been to war, you are taken care of.
Yeah.
You are taken care of.
Yeah.
Nobody will allow a fucking veteran to be on the fucking streets.
Dude,
there's
so
every person you see on the street, I'm a veteran, please help. I'm a veteran, help this. And some people are just asking you to feed their dogs. Some people are just like, you know, this is so fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sad. It's crushing to see. But yeah, start with those. And like, that's the thing for me. It was like, man, nothing, like, let's take away all the politics and things about Ukraine and Russia, blah, blah, blah. Let's just start with like, hey, your country is falling. Your country is like, people are homeless, starving, on drugs, going crazy, not having money, needing food stamps, don't have insurance, don't have healthcare, don't have this. And you're sending $9 billion, $6 billion, fucking hundreds of fucking millions of dollars to a country. Bitch, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's insanity. Doesn't make any sense. It's also like, man, one of the things that was pissing a lot of people off with like this Israel-Hamas thing is that, hey, you're sending $350 million a month to them, and like in fucking Tel Aviv, it costs like $20 to buy a cup of coffee. You're like, the inflation is just, like, it's the most expensive fucking city in the world, Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
And like, you're sending money out. And it's like, it's a country of 6 million people. Not 300 fucking million people.
Right. You should be able to take care of them pretty easy. Yeah. So did you see any drones in Florida?
No, man. I left right before
drones,
the drone.
They're all over the place, man. There's drones everywhere.
Man, the drone situation is fucking crazy.
Some of them look suspiciously like airplanes, which is weird, you know, because it might just be airplanes. They even have like the blinking lights.
Yes, dude.
You know,
the
like
exact
a lot of
blinking
them have
lights
like
of the airplanes.
It's like they're like, it's aliens. It's like, wait a second. So the aliens have the FAA regulated lights on them. You know, like come on, bro. They were like they're just doing it just to blend in, right?
Exactly.
Like that was their whole strategy from the beginning.
Exactly.
Like,
they found out.
Yeah. But the conspiracy theorists would be like, oh yeah, it's definitely fucking alien.
Yeah, 100% aliens. You've seen some of these thumbnails on the YouTube videos, just like UFOs crashed, and it's like evidence revealed like this, and I click on it and some idiot fucking talking for 2 minutes like that might, you know.
But dude, there is some interesting videos out there.
No,
actually.
there are some interesting.
There are some like ones where you're like, wait a second, like maybe there is something going on.
No, it didn't come off of bullshit. Like even Trump was talking about it, that they're not even like releasing all the information. So many new like government officials are like, hey,
the
we don't even have
FBI did like a briefing about it. The CIA did a briefing about it.
Like,
so
what the fuck is going on?
So if it's airplanes, then why would it just be that?
And the scary part is if it's rogue United States government assets. That's the scary thing. If it's that.
I mean, but what do you mean by rogue?
Like not anymore cooperating with the government.
I don't think so. I think it's like if it's gonna be something, it's gonna be like DARPA, very very high up, top secret program. And I watched this video actually. It was talking about like how war is going to change in the future, and it was talking about like interconnected systems. Is that it?
No.
Okay. It was talking about interconnected systems of like automated. There'll be like soldiers, and then there's also going to be like drones on the ground, and there's going to be a network of drones up above.
Oh, I see.
That are like transmitting information.
I see.
So I think the best,
could be a test.
Like it could be a test of that.
Yeah.
Because they also talked about how most of the warfare that's going to happen in the future is going to be in an urban environment.
Exactly.
So they might be putting these drones out there to test like how they're able to pick up the heat signatures, how they're able to relay information. Like why not test it? You know, you have the city there. Like we have plenty of cities.
Yeah.
We can fly it over. So I think that's probably the best. If there is some kind of like conspiracy or there's something like happening that's like beyond the public knowledge, I think it would probably be that.
Yeah.
You know, DARPA's testing out their new advanced communication system.
Absolutely. But some of these videos are wild. Some of these videos, and the fact that like all these government officials are also like, what the fuck? That makes you kind of like, okay. So it's like some of these people just like videoing a fucking airplane, clear airplane.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, motherfucker, this is not what the fuck we're talking about. But you see so many things that are very, very, very suspicious that you're like.
Well, there was a guy that said he tried to fly his drone up to meet one of these. And as soon as he got close to it, within like visual range, his battery went dead.
No way.
And then it just dropped out of the sky. And there was actually a video of a drone that's flying, and another drone comes up, and you can see it. The light is on. It gets close, and all of a sudden, the second drone just drops to the ground. So like there are some like pretty weird.
Shit.
There are some pretty weird things out there.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of things which are bullshit.
For sure.
You know, there's
with everything that happened.
There was one of like there's this picture of this like orb. And it's like very like it looks like kind of like geometrical like light patterns. It's like kind of like waves of light.
Holy shit!
And it was like, whoa! The first time I saw it, I was like, dude, what the fuck is that? And then somebody posted after that, and they were like, this is what an unfocused star looks like.
No way.
And it's exactly that, dude. It's exactly that. So you know, like as you're pointing the camera, it only gets like certain amounts of light, you know. And then so
people
again,
can start.
I think there's a lot of instances where people see things and then They want it to be. You know, because now there's something like
it's exciting,
mysterious, you know, happening, and they can figure it out.
And also, people were so, I feel like, distracted with like the elections and everything. It's like, and it's like also the last time, like when Trump got elected, for example, the first time, it was like people are like, the world is gonna end. Like if he gets elected, and there was so much intensity, the moment he's in office, it starts dying down. People are not interested in that anymore. We need something else to start trending. Yeah. It's like this is a perfect distraction for like people now to be like, holy shit, there's fucking.
That was another thing that somebody said. They were like, what's happening in the Middle East right now? Like what's happening in another place, or like what law is trying to be passed right now that has some kind of like clause in it that's like, you know, we're gonna basically spy on all of you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, and then it's like, oh, look at the drones, look over there, you know, and everybody's like, oh, fucking drones. And then the meanwhile, Congress is like passing this law that's basically like you're all prisoners of the United States government now.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, we can check on anything you ever want. Yeah. Like you're ever doing. It's like, by the way. And
I mean, I think they can already do that.
They can. Pegasus.
The Patriot Act.
Yeah.
After September 11th.
Yeah. Israel also sold that to the States. Like Israel invented it. I mean, Israel invented a lot of the technology that the United States uses. You know, but like Pegasus is one of those things, and it's like the 2.0 version that got like released is like basically Pegasus is like basically no. It's a software that they have. That basically, like, I know your phone number. I know it. I just know your phone number. I can find everything you ever did on your phone. Be in your phone in 0.5 seconds. Like, I can type in your obviously normal humans do not have access to this. It's only government. It's Israel and
United States.
and the United States, and I think some other countries want to buy it for like for protection and stuff, and also like the missile system, you know, for like the self-protection.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's scary. It's scary, but also like, look, there's close to 8 billion people in the world, and there's like all these government things. They don't have time. Like they don't give a fuck about 99% of people.
Right.
It's the 1% that they need to give a fuck about, that they need access to. Like the whole thing with like why, you know, with all the terrorist organizations, like they could not find. Now they can find them like that, like that. Like it does not matter what the fuck. That's how when they bombed, right? They bombed the hospital like back early in this Palestine, like Israel Gaza thing, Israel Hamas thing. Like there was like the the Washington Post and New York Times posted 500 dead at the hospital in Gaza, and you're like, what the fuck, you know, like holy shit. Like even as Israel, you look at it, and then basically you look it up, and it's like the photo is from Syria 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a completely wrong, false story. Not 500 people died, like a little bit of people died, and the fucking missile that hit them was from a fucking Hamas like base that was close to the hospital that just missed its target and just smashed right into the hospital. So you're like, and the only reason it blew up that much is because they kept fucking 800 tons of 8 tons of fucking explosives in the kids section of the airport. Hospital.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like this kind of the kind of misinformation that you can like receive, but then through this, Israel released a call between two terrorists. And it's like, what happened? Did we just get bombed? And he's like, no, it's our own missile. And he's like, what? Yeah, our own missile misfired and hit the hospital.
It's like a recording of them talking.
Yeah, a recording of them talking, and it's up there.
Yeah.
Like you can find it easily. It's just like that's the thing. That's like all this misinformation and stuff. For example, with this Pegasus thing, you can intercept those kind of calls all the time. They probably have a different program to intercept these calls, but like all these kind of programs, they have the ability to spy on you, whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. But it's like, unless you're this 1% that's doing something really bad, it's like they have you on the radar, man. They don't give a fuck.
It's a weird question, you know. Like a lot of people, some people are very anti. Anything that looks like the government's spying on you. And considering you, technically. And I think, I don't know exactly where I stand on it because
I'm not happy about it.
For instance, I'm kind of okay with it because at the end of the day, I know that I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, exactly. That's
I'm like, dude, if you want to look up my fucking search history, like, go for it. Go for it. You know, go for it.
Enjoy the porn
fucking
searches.
Bitcoin and Pornhub, you know, like, wow, you got me, guys. You got me, you know.
Big fucking oops.
Yeah. But then, some people would say it's a slippery slope, right? So, if they take that right away from you, then maybe the next thing that they take from you is a little bit more, and they slowly start to, make you comfortable with you giving up your rights.
Exactly,
right?
and slowly taking away your rights.
Which makes sense. But they've also been able to thwart a lot of, terrorist attacks because of this.
Yes.
So, completely. If you, I guess the question is, if you're, somebody who was on that plane or on that train, or your family was on that train, and the FBI was able to save your family. Yeah. Are you happy now that they listened in on these guys' conversations? You know.
Exactly. You are ecstatic.
You're probably very ecstatic. Yeah.